I swore I'd never do CrossFit. I laughed at the videos. I thought it was insane. And now I built 2 gyms and I coach others for a living. Here's how that happened. My name is Colby Christofic. I'm a CrossFit coach, gym owner, and a lifelong athlete. But more than that, I'm someone who's felt lost, broken, and unsure of who I was without sport. I created this video because I know how powerful CrossFit can be, not just for your body, but for your confidence, your relationships, and your purpose. This is my story, and maybe it'll help you start yours. There's a moment that lives in my memory like a scar. It was a Tuesday morning, it was dark, it was cold. It was like mid-February, and I was sitting in my car in the parking lot of Firestone Fieldhouse at Pepperdine, debating whether I actually had it in me to go inside to the gym. About 9 months earlier, I'd stopped playing water polo for my college team, Pepperdine. Not by choice, but because of a mistake made by the school. And just like that, my identity was gone as an athlete. I didn't realize it at the time, but I had slipped into something darker, a little bit of depression. I wasn't out of shape though, I was disconnected. Mentally and emotionally, I felt lost. Physically, I was nothing like the peak version of myself that I once knew. But I had made myself a promise. 6 o'clock in the morning, gym sessions. Monday through Friday, I was gonna do weights and cardio. No excuses. And I stuck to it for 6 months. But I hated it. I hated walking into the silent gym with my headphones in. I hated doing the same thing over and over again. I hated that no one talked to each other. No one pushed you, or no one even noticed if you were there. What I missed most wasn't the sport. It was the team. It was the camaraderie, the feeling of working side by side with people who actually cared and had a shared goal. And funny enough, I first heard about CrossFit back in high school. My dad had showed me a couple of videos. It was, I think, Nicole Carroll doing tire flips in the street and overhead squats. I remember myself saying, this is so dumb. I'm never gonna do something like this. But years later, I went to run with a friend of mine, Hannah. She was absolutely destroying me. And I asked her, what are you doing? She answered with, CrossFit. I think you might like it. That conversation changed everything. I signed up for an intro, I did the foundations, and I was instantly humbled. I wasn't good at it. I didn't know the movements, but I was super into it. I was learning again, not just sweating to sweat, but I was acquiring skills. I was unlocking new movements. I was building capacity. After my intro, it was time to sign up for regular classes, but the student membership was $190 a month. And I thought to myself, there's no way I can pay that much. Then the coach and owner at the time, his name was Mike Anderson, looked me in the eyes and said something I'll never forget. The price is $190. If I didn't think it was worth every penny, I wouldn't ask for it. I sat with it and I realized I believed him. So I paid it, and it was worth every single penny. The physical progress was cool, but what kept me coming back were the people. The community felt like a team. Friends inside the gym and outside of the gym. People who celebrated your personal records and noticed when you were gone, and they pushed you to show up for more than just yourself. I realized something big. Even though I had played a collegiate sport, I couldn't just jump into CrossFit 5 days a week. Intensity demanded respect. Consistency had to be earned. I had to relearn how to train, not just exercise. And every month I was learning new skills. Double unders, kipping pull-ups, the snatch, the clean and jerk. CrossFit brought me back to life. Not just my body, but my spirit. About 1.5 years in, I started coaching. And at first, I thought it was just for fun. I thought it was great to be able to teach people what I had just recently learned myself. But then I started to see it. People were walking in, just like I did, burnt out, isolated, stuck, and they were actually changing their lives. They were gaining confidence, they were losing weight, they were rebuilding relationships, and they were getting stronger. Not just in their bodies though, in their lives. And that's when it clicked. This just isn't about fitness. It was about transformation. And I wanted to be a part of that every single day. So I committed to becoming a full-time coach. And then I realized if I wanted to help more people, I needed to build something bigger. That meant creating spaces like Oxnard Movement and CrossFit Ventura, where great coaching, real community, and personal growth could all happen under a roof. It meant teaching other coaches how to lead with care, with excellence and with integrity. Because one coach can change 100 lives, but 10 amazing coaches, they can change thousands. There's been seasons where I've trained 5 hours in a day, and there's been seasons where I've barely made it once in a week. Life changes. There is seasons, but CrossFit, the structure, the people, the values, they've always been there. A steadying force in this chaotic mess. To my younger self, the one who rolled his eyes at CrossFit videos and said, never, you'd be shocked at what you've built and be super proud. 2 gyms, hundreds of lives, and still more to come, because CrossFit isn't just a workout. It's a way of life, and it's changed mine. If you've ever ghosted your gym, had to start over on a Monday, or thought lifting a baby counts as leg day, our videos are for you. We break down all sorts of health and fitness content and give you real advice I wish more people heard. No fluff, no BS, just actionable items. Even if your life's a mess and your squat form is questionable, at the end of our videos, you'll find some sort of actionable content and know what to do next. So buckle up, this might be uncomfortably relatable.